Welcome back to the channel, and today we are doing a rebuild on UCD AFC, which is based off in Dublin. We have put them down in League 2. They are the worst team on the game. They were the worst team on FIFA 23, and they're back again being the worst team on FC24. We are going to put them down in League 2, obviously based off in Ireland. We move them over to England. In League 2, we replace the worst team in League 2 in real life, which is Sutton United. They sit bottom of the league. We are going to add and convert UCD into Champions League winners. They are half a star rating, which is absolutely insane. It's going to be one hell of a rebuild. And while being the worst team in the game, they also have one of the worst budgets to go alongside with it. 503K as their budget. We did just spend 359K. We spend around 358K per week. Actually, no, we don't. What am I talking about? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, with them being one of the worst teams in the game, in fact, the worst team in the game, they have one of the worst budgets in the game. They start off with around 862,000. We already spent 349 hiring one coach, which is unfortunate, but yeah, that's what happened. So we have 503K to build this team up into a League 2 contending team. But look at it. Our highest rated player is a 60 overall. That is a center back at Keeney. We are going to have to utilize the youth academy. Our oldest player is 25, so some of these players still have quite a bit in them. And our highest overall is obviously 60 Jack Keeney with 57 awesome, a 56 rated goalkeeper. We have a couple of players that are a little bit on the shitter side of things with 49, 49, and 49, as well as a 50 overall. We might loan them out. I don't know what I'm going to be able to do to try and get this team into League 2. This might be on multiple seasons in League 2. And looking at our youth academy, we had more players than this, but none of them were really good enough. We have Payeta, who I'm changing to a left midfielder. He might boost up a little bit. We have Kramer, who's going to instantly come into the team at 60 overall. He's going to be joint highest overall. And then Shabala is going to come on as well, either as a striker or a cam. And looking at this, I think a cam, in all honesty, which maybe even a right winger, because his crossing is a little bit better. It could be a crossing or a right winger angle for him, but Kramer instantly comes into the starting 11. That's our first signing, technically. We go ahead and bring some free agents in, and both of them are youth academy-ish players, or youth regions at least. Michael Davies, a 16-year-old Ghana player that is 60 overall striker. We bring in right wing back from Hungary that is 16 years old, 51 overall. In Farcars, we bring in Elias Jus, who is not a youth generated player. He just looks somebody that looks somewhat decent, and he could be the marquee player for this season at 65 overall on the right wing. We bring in another right back, more traditional right back, 16-year-old Northern Ireland, 61 overall in McCauley. We bring in Davin McKenney, who might not play at all, but he's 49 overall. And then Raidu, who's actually 63 overall, so higher overall than Davies, so he'll get the nod over him in that starting spot. And that is all the changes that we will be making to the team, besides any of the youth academy players that is on the actual youth academy. We currently sit 23rd in the league, pretty much rock bottom of the league, only above last place by 1 point. Our team is not doing good at all. They are struggling. Our top goal scorer is that Just guy, but that's about it. Radu has 7 in him. Davies as well has 7 for himself as well. We need to go ahead and sign some of these players back up, make sure they don't leave. We'll figure out some squad depth issues maybe at the beginning of next season. Kind of just want to get rid of some of these players and just let them go. Honestly, I'm so tempted. If you're not 55 overall, you are getting got. And to end the first season, we finish rock bottom with only 5 wins. We go into the second season, hopefully with a little bit more money and a little bit more freedom to bring in some players. This might turn into a free agent type of rebuild only. We need more money, so we get past first season just absolutely just getting dominated in the league. Second season, we're on the up for sure. Now we start the new season number 2 by bringing in a bunch of these youth-generated players from the Youth Academy, also as well as bringing in Remy Descamps, a 72 overall goalkeeper. I tried to bring in Roy Walters from Arsenal, who's now at Crystal Palace on the game, but he went ahead and obviously didn't accept the wage cut, and he's not going to drop all the way from Premier League football to League 2. That was just a shot in the dark, honestly. A couple of these players look decent. They are young enough to actually grow as well. And it's a massive improvement onto this team already. So we're going to put them in there and hopefully get into a playoff fighting position for this season. And last signing of the summer is going to be bringing in a left back. I believe a Qatarian left back that has just been sitting on the free agents for the entirety of this, rebuild in this first season, second season. He'll come in for free, 74 overall at 27 years of age. He will give us some experience at that left back position, and it's a massive improvement, and that could be a key part in leading us into a playoff battle, hopefully. It's a big hopefully, it's a massive hopefully, but hopefully it can happen. I think, honestly, if I were to change something right now, I think it would be another center mid for Cisse. But other than that, I think the team is somewhat decent, and they will continue to grow because they're pretty much all young besides maybe the keeper and the left back. But other than that, everybody else is young, so they will grow at least somewhat. So I'll see y'all in January. Halfway through the season, and we are in a playoff spot. In 6. Sorry for my voice. I don't know why it's cracking. We are, in fact, only 5 points off an automatic promotion spot. Obviously, top 3 automatically promoted, with 4th through 7th going through a playoff system at the end of the season. Our team, like I said, it's growing. Radu is not playing. I wonder who's playing for him. It has to be Davies who's playing for him. Doesn't make sense, but you know what? They're getting the job done. Just has 9 goals. Radu has 9 goals. Belliani has 8. Acosta has 8. Davies only has 3. So he's not playing. So Radu might have just been hurt and coming back from injury. So let's go and make sure they stay here for another season. And we'll go ahead and go. Oh, I can't. Oh. Well, we're going to have to replace those 2 next season. That'll be fine. Let's get to the end of the season where hopefully we are maybe in an automatic promotion spot. That'd be lovely. We finish in 3rd. We are automatically promoted into League 1. Bradford City and Stockport go up with us. Forest Green, Port Vale, Mansfield Town, and Northampton are all going to be in a playoff spot. We finish in 3rd. That's actually amazing. We finish in 3rd by 1 point. Radu had 22 goals. This man is not going anywhere. He's our star striker for sure. The only problem is going to have to be finding a new goalkeeper. No, it is not. Oh, yep, it is. Okay. And getting promoted to League 1 gives us the same exact budget we had last season. $3 million. That's it. It's going to be loans and free agents again. Let's get to it. The first signing of the summer is bringing in another goalkeeper. This time he would last a little bit longer than the last one, and he's better as well. Younger, 21-year-old Mexican goalkeeper, 76 overall. He is perfect, a little bit over perfect for League 1 football, but he didn't come in and he could lead us and he could be here for the rest of his lifetime at this club of UCD Dublin. Midway through our first season in League 1 football, we sit 14th, pretty much mid-table-ish. We are, what's the math there? They have 40, we have 34. We're only 6 points off of a playoff spot, so it's very tight towards the top there. Let's go and sign some players up, make sure they aren't leaving. We also, oh yeah, I didn't say all this, but we did bring in 2 CDMs on loan from Barnsley and Charlton Athletic. They have been doing fantastic, so try and keep them, well, not try and keep them, but keep them playing, that way they don't get recalled is the aim there. Richie does not want to sign another contract with us, so we might have to go back in for another goalkeeper. We've managed to slip our ways into the last playoff spot of this season. We will play against Barnsley, who are 12 points clear off of us. It's going to be an absolute just domination on their end. First leg of the semifinal against Wigan, or against Barnsley, I should say, and they win 1-0. It's still doable. It's still very doable. Very unlikely, but it's doable. Second leg here. We are obviously on the outlooking in. Second leg, and we lose 2-1. We lose 3-1 on aggregate. And we are back into League 1 for next season out of the playoffs. Our top goal scorer is again. No, it's not again Radu. Radu only had 10. Acosta had 17. Radu only played 34 games. That is worrying. Let's get into next season. And we go ahead and bring in midfielder for 67 rated. He will join the squad. Baba Adieko. He will join from Wigan Athletic for 720,000. And he will be one of the midfielders that will rule this team. And he was good for us last season on loan, so we make it a permanent signing for us now. George Dobson will join from, I believe this one was from Charlton. It was from Charlton for 1.8 million. The board actually gave us I think it was like 7.5 million, so pretty much almost close to 8 million in our budget for reaching the playoffs of last season. Even though we didn't even do anything with the playoffs, we got kind of had bad there a little bit. But yeah, that was that. And we were going to go ahead and bring in Max Bird. He was on pretty much going to be for a free. So pretty short term there. We'll bring him in for 1.4 million. That's on the cheaper side of things. I think his value is actually around 2.2 million. It's exactly what it was. And possibly one last signing for the summer is bringing in another left back. We needed one. We didn't really have one last season, but now we do. Bravo will come in for free from the free agent markets. We did bring in a couple more free agents as well. I'll quickly run down the list here. We obviously brought in Adieko, Gobson, Bird. Abate was a free agent. Arias was a free agent. He was a free agent. Ahmed was a free agent. Arias was a free agent, as well as Bravo. And halfway through the season, we sit in 4th, still in a playoff spot. This time only 4 points off of second place Peterborough. We are looking comfortable in a playoff spot. Hopefully, we can finish in an automatic promotion spot and not have to go through the playoffs again, because that's always a toss-up with the simulation. And we end the season getting automatically promoted into the championship, finishing 2nd, and this time again, finishing above 3rd place by 1 point. We are making the cut, automatically getting up, no longer have to worry about going through the stress of the playoffs. We failed last season, don't have to worry about this season. Now top goal scorer is just 27 goals for him, 22 for Acosta, 20 for Radu. Let's get into the next season where hopefully we can get close to 10 mil maybe. That would be lovely. That would be great, honestly. 10 million, we can make some proper signings and not have to use the free agent market. And they actually listen to us. We have 13 million to spend. We apparently spend 10 million weekly already spent, but we've spent nothing. So that's interesting. We have 13 million to spend to improve this team. Honestly, Richie's 81 overall. That's why we get automatic promoted. He's 81 overall. I did manage to lock him up on a long-term deal as well. Looking at this, I think maybe a right back. We did have a right back that obviously left already. A right back, maybe a more striker, as Radu, kind of iffy. Gobson was only here for 1 season, unfortunately. So maybe a new center mid, maybe a new left winger, because I haven't seen anything from Belliani on the Squad Hub reports. So we are going to go shopping. Our first signing of this summer is bringing in Tavon Gray, a right back. Hopefully can control the defense and be a institutional piece to that back four, and maybe lead us straight to the Premier League, automatic promotion. That would be the best case scenario. Obviously, won't happen, but that would be the best case scenario in what happens here. And our second signing is going to be a free one. And hopefully one of the last free ones we'll probably have to make one more, honestly. Esteban Alvarez will join the squad, a center defensive mid role for him. Hopefully can stay here a lot longer than what these 1-year deals have been happening. But he is great. He is young. He's 75 overall, and he will be a great part to this team. We found a decent left winger that is free. Musa Kane will come in. A Gabonese, a left winger / striker. He will come into the squad, and he will replace Bellini. And the big person that I was going after this whole time is a striker from Watford. Now, he is only a loan deal, so he'll only be here for 1 season. But he is a great striker. He a pacey Jorge Caballas, whatever, however you want to say. I completely messed it up there. But he will join the squad, 76 overall. He will be our number 1 striker. And honestly, I think that might be good enough for this team. In all honesty, I think that's a good enough team for at least the first season. And so that's your starting 11. Richie, Gray, Bailly, Arias, Bravo, Just, Bird, Alvarez, Kane, Acosta, and Cabezas in our first season of championship football. Can we get back-to-back promotions and get straight up to the Premier League? Highly unlikely. Our aim? Avoid relegation. And we sit on the cusp of a playoff spot here halfway through the season. We sit 6th. 3 points ahead of Bristol City in that playoff spot. We are how many points off of automatic promotion? We are 10 points off of automatic promotion. So far ways from there. Maybe a playoff spot though. That'd be great. And we go ahead and finish in 4th, which is a playoff spot. It's Southampton versus Coventry City, and it's us versus Stoke City on the quest of automatic promotion. Wow, we have 85 points. They have 83. It was actually very tight towards the top 6. Well, kind of. Top 6 all the way up to 4th, to be honest, because there's 8 points between Coventry and Southampton. 6 points in between Fulham and Southampton, and obviously Sheffield United running away with the league there. Going down to the League One, it's Ipswich, Peterborough, and Bolton all going down, but we don't care about that. We care about the playoffs here against Stoke City. It's a 2-leg affair for the semifinal, and then the final is the 1 leg, as Cisse is going to be going to Volontaire for free, which is honestly perfectly fine because I didn't even know he was still at the club. So it is what it is. And here we go. The first leg against Stoke City. It's away from home. It's a 1-0 win. It's Bird scoring in the first minute as we take a narrow edge to the second leg. And now it's the second leg here at home at Longville Stadium. Can the boys get the job done? They can. Just scores in the 69th minute. A 2-0 win on aggregate. Went into the final. Probably against Southampton, in all honesty. I would be surprised if it's Coventry City. It is Southampton in the final. Let's see if we can get to the Premier League. And here we go. The final of the playoffs here. I should simulate through it, but I'm just going to quick sim it because I've been here for a while. Can we get to the Premier League? No, we cannot. A 4-0 thumping from Southampton. They get promoted to the Premier League, and we don't get the back-to-back promotions. We spend another season in the championship, which honestly might not be bad at all. It really might not be bad at all because some players are going to be leaving. We're not going to have a striker next season. Our top goal scorer, 29 goals for Cabezas, who is obviously leaving the club. Just has been incredible this entire rebuild. 15 goals for him, 13 assists. Season 2 of the championship coming up next. You know what I'm saying? Go big or go home. That's exactly what we're doing. We are bringing 24-year-old Alarcon into the team. Free agent. Roma wanted him. We got him. We went ahead and just swooped him up. He'll be our #1 striker. That's really the only weakness we had with the other striker going back to Watford and him being too expensive to bring in. So now we have Alarcon, who is going to be a great player for us. We finished 2nd in the league. We are into the Premier League after simulating the whole entire season. We finished in 2nd with 94 points. Leicester City finished with 111 points. That is insane. Is that true? It has to be true, right? 35 times 3, that's 105, 6. Yeah, wow. That's actually insane. They finished with 111. So, playoff between Burnley, Watford, Coventry, and Norwich going down to League One. Sheffield, Preston, and Barnsley. We are up into the Premier League, and Alarcon has gotten us to how much? What's his? 31 goals. He's insane. 31 goals. He didn't grow at all. He stayed at 81 overall. But 31 goals is absolutely insane. 40 million to spend in our first season in Premier League football, and boy do we have to spend it. Just has left, unfortunately. He wanted to leave. We couldn't sign him back. We need another center back for sure. Maybe even 2 center backs in here. Maybe a replacement for Berg. Definitely a Cam replacement for Kramer. And other than that, so right wing, maybe halfbacks or center backs there. A Bird CDM replacement and a Cam replacement. 39 million to spend there. The first signing of Premier League football is by bringing in an experienced older-ish man, at least in terms of just his lifetime of playability. We bring in Benjamin Pavard, one of the best goal scorers in World Cup history ever, with that beautiful goal for France. He will join the squad. He will be our right-footed or right-sided center back, slotting in perfectly. He is on a 2-year deal. He is old, so we're going to have to look to try and find a youngster to replace him, but he will join here at UCD Dublin for 14 million, in fact, as well. So very cheap, but half our budget technically, so not cheap at all. We bring in blockbuster right wing Tamar Hassan. He will join for a free agent as well. Almost had a deal agreed with Manchester United, but Dublin coming for him, and he is now at the club. That is 2 signings that should be perfect for this team. That could even bring this team up to survive relegation. Last signing of the summer probably is going to be that center defensive mid position that we needed to bring in. We found somebody at Bournemouth, another Premier League side, and he had a release clause of 12 million with a value of 29 million, I believe. So it's almost a no-brainer. He will come in 79 overall. He will join the team. Number 18, obviously no names on the back, but Guilherme Borges will join the squad here at Dublin. I gotta stop saying Dublin. I said it once and now it's stuck in my head. Dublin. And that is going to be probably the last signing of the summer. This is your starting 11 for this season, your main starting 11. We might have to lock up Richie a little bit longer. 86 overall for him. He might be the saving grace for this Premier League run, keeping us alive here. We have a back four of Gray, Pavard, Arias, Da Silva, Alvarez, and Borges as our center defensive mid, and Hassan, Muller, and Kane behind them with Alicorn, our top goal scorer of last season, sitting at striker once again. Halfway through the season, and we sit in 15th. We are 5 points off of safety. That's exactly where we want to be. Liverpool are struggling as well. They sit in 13th with 21 points. Top of the table, it's Nottingham Forest of all teams. They sit in first with 35 points, won, and Newcastle and Manchester United both on 34 points, with Aston Villa wrapping up the top 4. Arsenal, same points as well. This is actually kind of insane. So we are technically, what, 9 points or 10 points off, I should say. I mean, well, I guess we're 11 points off of top 4, which is insane to think about. The league is in a weird spot for that to be happening. Alicorn is up to 83 overall. That is great to see. Hassan is up to 82. Let's get to the end of the season. In Season 1, we survived relegation. Sitting in 14th, we survived it by 10 points. That is great to see. That is progress there. Who finished top? Liverpool bounced back slightly. Arsenal don't even get Europa League. They get Conference League. Man City finished in first. Man City's always going to win the league somehow. Nottingham Forest had the biggest fall off I've ever seen. In Manchester United and Newcastle, same exact points. This time just switched around positions, which doesn't really mean too much in the grand scheme of things. They're both in Champions League football, so it doesn't really matter there. Aston Villa did go ahead and hold that 4th spot there by finishing in 4th. Going down, as you had seen, was Everton, Coventry City, and Crystal Palace. They'll be sent down to the Championship. Leicester City survived relegation as well. And was it Coventry City who won the playoffs? I think it was. So they get sent straight back down. Our top goal scorer, Alicorn, with 23 goals. Kane with 16. Let's get into the second season. And to start the new season here on the game, we went ahead and signed a whole new, well, kind of a whole new back line. We don't really need a new left back. We need a new right back, and we did need 2 center backs. So we bring in Gabriel Fernandez for around 20.7 million. We also bought Leon King over from Barcelona for his cheap value of 25.4 million. And then we brought in Bourgois, who was a free agent, I believe. Yes, he was a free agent, as well as Kai Castro, who was also a free agent. Now, the board actually gave me 70 million to spend this season, despite absolutely doing nothing. And in fact, it might have even been less than that, because we only spent, what, around 24? Not 24, around 44? So around 60-70 million, so that's about right. So Pavard is gone for sure for Bourgois, and then Mr. if I can find him, King, who is on international duty, is there as our left-footed center back, and Fernandez is now a new right back, and that is how this is looking at the moment. We do need a better bench though, because look at the bench. The bench looks absolutely awful. We need another winger here. We need another center mid / even maybe a cam, in all honesty, to have some fluidness into this team. So we'll go look at that for that. We might have to dip back into the free agent market though to find at least a decent one. Maybe even bring somebody in on loan for this season and then buy them fully out next season. That could be the play. And we go ahead shopping that free agent market once again, bringing in some at least half quality squad depth. Obviously, we bring in a couple of midfielders in Mancia and Hernandez, as well as Aguilar and Moreno, and then we bring in a right winger and a left winger each. Which Danny Gomez could play left wing back as well, so if we did need him there, that could be an option. It probably won't be an option at all. And honestly, he might not even be here by the time we get to the Champions League final, because that's about the only time I care about these players, in all honesty. So we are going to go ahead and add Mancina to the bench, seeing as he is 74. And with me simulating only a couple of days' time, Pavard has went from a 79 to 78. It's been about 2 or 3 days since the last time I filmed a clip there. This is your big 11 for this season. We have Alarcon on the starting striker, Muller, Kane, Hassan as our wingers / Cam, Alvarez and Borges who's holding down midfield. A new back line, kind of. Obviously, with the Silva still staying as left back, we have King now as our right or center back, as well as Bourgois, and then Fernandez as a right back as well. Let's see if we can somehow manage to fuss up a European spot, maybe mid-table. That would be awesome. Let's get to it. And it's another It's another mid-table finish here on our second season in the Premier League, finishing outside of the top 4 by 13 points. So there is a big gap for this team at UCD to be able to get into any European competitions. Obviously, the Champions League is a massive, massive task to try and get to, but I think we do still have the talent, definitely. Kane is up to 85 overall. Hassan is up to 86 overall. Our CDM is up to 84. Our Cam is up to 82. Honestly, I think it could just be a backline. Richie's up to 88. As long as we keep him in there, he only has 7 clean sheets. And I think that is a massive part of possibly the back line not being good enough. Something is going on there on the back line. So that could be something that we have to upgrade again. Hopefully we get a little bit more money. Hopefully we get close to like 80 or 70 million again. That would be lovely to be able to spend on to next season. Hopefully we can find some top players. And with us only getting around 27 to 30 million for this new season in our budget, we had to go shopping once again in the free agent market. This time bringing in a big value type of players here. We bring in Gaspar Bouquet, a left mid that is 21 years old, 82 overall. He is going to be first team contender, possibly even a first team lock. We have bringing in Mikel Ojeda over from Spain for a free agent. He chose us over Atletico Madrid. He might end up playing at right back, in all honesty. There is a chance we convert him to a right back if we go ahead and keep one of our center backs as our current center backs. We also bring in another center defensive mid. I believe this one might be actually Thomas Partey's regen. In all honesty, it definitely could be Ghana CDM/CM. It's more than likely is his regen. If you really wanted to check, you can go check his birthday. I'm not going to do that. The birthday is always the same for sure. And then we also bring in Jonathan Gray, who is a center back /CDM / also right back as well. So he could play right back as well if we needed him over instead of Ojeda, because our backup, or not our backups, our center backs at the moment, they're honestly not that bad. This guy, he's 80 overall. He's maybe not the best, but he's definitely not that bad. So I think if we put in one of these guys, maybe even like him, because he has 80 defending and 89 physical, the pace is about the same, but that's all that's really downfall in him. I think that is about good enough, to be honest, for him. We'll go ahead and add the other guys to the bench. We'll have Adu here. We'll have Bouquet up here. The other left mid must have already left. No, this left mid will have left. I totally forgot to do contract negotiations. I just skipped all the way to the end of the season. So that is on me. Mancini is going to go ahead and get dropped. We are going to go ahead and drop. Do we drop Adu? Or do we drop Borges? I don't know if we drop Borges in all honesty. I think they're both great. The only bad thing is everybody's a left-footed here. I would love a right-footed, to be honest. I really would love a right-footed here. He has high-low defensive work rates. That might be why he's not the best as a CDM, in all honesty, which is depressing. And this guy, Adu, is 5'8". He is 5'8". There is no way he is a CDM. He is not a CDM at all. Hold on. Let me go see what his actual position is. And the last signing of the summer is actually spending money on. We bring in a backup striker that is 81 overall, so he could compete quickly with Alarcon as he is only around 19 to 20 years old. We bring him in for $15 million with his contract expiring. We got him on the cheaper side of things. So he'll come in. He'll be our backup player over from Roma, and he could break into that starting spot sooner rather than later. And so this should be a good enough team to at least get higher up in the table. Maybe win a cup competition, or at least reach a far stage of the cup competition. It's really not changed too much in all honesty. Our back line hasn't changed too much besides Ojada now starting instead of the other center back. Adu, just better substitution options, to be honest. Muller's through at Cam. This might be Muller's last season at Cam if he doesn't grow anymore. Bouquet, his first look at being the left mid for this team as his name, Kane. Where did Kane go? Is Kane still a free agent? If Kane's still a free agent, I'm bringing him back. Oh, he is at Chelsea now, so unfortunately I forgot to sign contract negotiation deals because I just simmed all the way to the end of the season instead of January. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and then we'll be back at the end of the season. And at the end of the season, we finish in 5th, which means European competitions. We have the Europa League for next season. We missed out on top 4 by 1 point over Arsenal. That is unfortunate. In fact, Arsenal and Newcastle both by 1 point. Manchester City win another league title with Brighton sitting in 2nd of all teams. Liverpool and Manchester United in 7th and 8th. Tottenham in 11th, Chelsea in 10th, Crystal Palace, Coventry City, who must have just got rebounded. They're doing a little bit of a yo-yo at the moment. They went up with us, they went down straight back, and then came up, and now they're going straight back down. I think the same thing is happening with Crystal Palace. I believe they went straight down not last season, but the season before that, and came straight back up, as well as Everton. Everton actually survived the yo-yo there, finishing in 17th. They only survived it by 5 points, which is absolutely insane. We are in the Europa League, though, and making sure we didn't win no Conference League or Carabao Cup or anything like that. No. So we are good there. Our top goal scorer surely has to be Alarcon again. It is 20 goals for him, 14 for Hassan, who's now 87 overall. Shaw is up to 83. Muller is up to 84. I still think it might be time for him to go next season. Seeing as we are now in the Europa League, it's no better than to go big or go home. When we bring in free agent Oscar Kruger, 87 overall at 21 years old. This is Joshua Kimmich's regen. CDM / right back that can also play center mid. Well, obviously CDM center mid is the same damn position, to be honest, but it could also play right back. This is Kimmich's regen, and he will be our new number 1 CDM no matter what happens. And this is your team to go into this season of Europa League football. If I could just go ahead and do some institution stuff here and just swap out some players and stuff. Here is your starting 11. It almost remains the same. There is a couple of changes, as you can see in a second. Alarcon remains our starting striker. Muller, I'm giving one more chance at Cam. Bouquet is our right winger. Hassan is our right winger. Bouquet's our left winger, actually. Kruger starts at CDM over Borges. Borges drops to the bench. Alvarez stays on the left-hand side here. De Silva is actually getting dropped for Fernandez, a new left back that we just picked up for free. King is still our right back or center back there with Miranda, a new center back that we just picked up for free as well with Fernandez. And then obviously Richie in the sticks. On the bench we have Borges as CDM. We transition Adu from a center defensive mid to a CDM. And other than that, it's Europa League football. Let's see what the boys can do. So halfway through the season, I guess I'll give you a halfway update since we're in Europa League now. We sit third in the Premier League. We are off a top spot by 7 points with Man City just absolutely just sitting in first, dominating once again. Arsenal is struggling. They are all the way down in 14th. Southampton and Sheffield United, who I believe just got promoted as well, are looking to go straight back down, as well as Everton, who only spent 1 year in safety. As far as the FA Cup, we have a round 3 fixture against Harrogate Town, so that'll be interesting. We are in the semifinals of the Carabao Cup against Liverpool, so a chance of a first look of silverware maybe coming in the Carabao Cup. If we can somehow mount over Liverpool, that would be great. As far as the Europa League goes, we finished second in the Europa League, which means we had the pre-eliminating round, and it's unfortunately against AS Monaco, who got knocked out of the Champions League. Real Madrid versus Arsenal in the pre-eliminating round there as well. Our contracts are all perfectly fine, I believe. I think we're all good here, besides Gray, who can honestly leave at the end of the season. So that's perfectly fine. So I will get to here, and I guess we'll simulate through at least the first league. And then if we don't make it, then I'll just sim to the end of the season. And if we do make it, I'll sim to the end of the season. And talking about that, we lose the first leg of the Carabao Cup. In the second leg up here now, we draw 2-2, which is a 3-1 loss on that. So we get knocked out of the Carabao Cup. In the first leg of the Europa League pre-eliminating round, it's a 2-1 win where Alucard and Muller scoring. Isak is at AS Monaco. He missed the penalty. Lang getting a goal there to at least keep them somewhat really close into a tie, even though a 2-0 lead would have been just as close, to be honest. But, you know, it is what it is. We're 5 points behind Man City now. We're catching up. Second leg up here against AS Monaco away from home. It's a 2-0 win. We are into the official knockout stages of the Europa League. Arsenal and Real Madrid just drew 3-3. I'm actually really interested who got out of that tie. I didn't see the first tie result there. Arsenal got through 5-5 and they won on penalties 6-5. That is insane. We play FC Braga in the round of 16. I'm just going to sim to the end of the season because obviously the aim is Champions League, not Europa League. And at the end of the season, we sit third in the league. We cannot mount any type of title charge there, with Man City walking away with it once again. Liverpool sitting in second, us finishing in third, which means we have Champions League football no matter what happened in the Europa League, no matter what happened obviously in the Carabao Cup that we didn't even get to the final of, so that doesn't matter. Arsenal managed to actually mount a comeback of some sorts, finishing in 9th. So they actually finished higher than Chelsea, and they finished higher than Tottenham. Tottenham finished worse than what Arsenal was halfway through the season. They finished all the way in 15th. And in fact, they only survived off of relegation by, what's the math there? 11 points. That's actually not that bad anyway. Everton, Sheffield United, and Southampton are going down to the championship. Sheffield United and Southampton go straight up to go straight back down. Everton, they lasted a season. FA Cup final, it's us versus West Ham. That'll come at the end of the week. That's May 28th there. We are also going to look at the Europa League here. So the round of, obviously the pre-eliminating round, hold on. Actually, I don't know who's in the final at all. The preliminary round, we obviously got by AS Monaco 4-1 on aggregate. The round of 16, we faced off against FC Braga, in which we won 4-1 on aggregate again. So back-to-back 4-1 wins on aggregate. We then faced off against Leipzig in the quarterfinals, in which we won 3-2 on aggregate. So we actually managed to go all the way to the semifinals. Arsenal get knocked out to West Ham. Juventus knock out Basel. And then Valencia knock off Benfica. In the semifinals, Juventus beat Valencia 5-2, and UCD won the final. We beat West Ham in the semifinals of the Europa League, so we are in the finals against Juventus in just a couple of days' time. I'm pretty sure, at least because the end of the season. Yeah, wow, we have the Europa League final, and then we have the FA Cup final. Obviously, I don't care about the FA Cup final at all. I do not care about the FA Cup final. I do care about the Europa League final just a little bit, though, even though it does not matter in the slightest. Some of our players are tired, but it gets the job done anyway. We win our first Europa League title, our first European title at all, with Alucard scoring and Shaw scoring the winner in the 79th minute. We wasn't in Champions League anyway, so it didn't really matter too much, but that is Champions League guaranteed, even though the Champions League was already guaranteed. And then here we go for the FA Cup final. Our team is dead tired, but they get the job done in extra time no matter what. We went 1-0 down. In fact, we were losing 1-0 all the way up into the 61st minute. That's when Hassan went ahead and equalized. They took the lead in the 71st. Shaw once again scoring in the 83rd there, and then Shaw again to give us the lead in the 104th. Hassan to double that lead in the 109th, and then Junukovic, which ended up being a consolation goal in the 115th minute, which led to a 4-3 win in extra time against West Ham. That is a perfect end to the season. This has been a crazy rebuild, and we're not done yet. We're not at the Champions League glory quite yet. Checking out the stats, Algron had 29 goals, Hassan had 22, Gomez had 12, Mueller had 11. He is 86 overall, 11 and 11 out of him. That is kind of what you want to see, to be honest. Maybe a little bit more output. But let's go ahead and get to the next season, Champions League football, where we should have a buttload of money for not only reaching the Champions League, but also winning the Europa League and winning the FA Cup. We should have close to 125 million. Maybe even more, in all honesty. 116 million to spend, and boy, are we going to spend it. Maybe it depends how many good free agents there are, to be honest. That's been what's riding this team. In fact, everybody here is a free agent for the most part, and in fact, everybody is a free agent here besides King. King is the only player in the starting 11 that we actually went ahead and outright bought from a club, so that would be interesting to see. Let's see if there's any free agents in the market that is insane. And we go ahead and spend pretty much our entire budget on Sun's regen. The left winger, Sun, the South Korean, he will join us here at, I almost said Real Madrid. I'm not at Real Madrid. That's my career mode series. If you haven't been watching my career mode series, go ahead and go in my videos and go ahead and watch all of the season. We're in the second season, episode out tomorrow, where we will be continuing our journey there. But yeah, we bring in Sun's Regen, who is great. He came from Manchester United, I believe I just bought him from, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Manchester United. We gave him Bouquet plus 80 million, which is absolutely absurd. I tried to get him for around 60 million, and they're probably gonna say I could have saved what? They said I could have saved 20 million. I just couldn't, because they were just about to walk out of the front door. So O comes into the team, and he will be our left winger. And honestly, I don't think this team needs much changing at all. It doesn't. Besides Audu, who's going to start instead of Miranda, who's now a little bit worse than Wares. Other than that, this team is looking good. And is Borges a left footer? He is. There is a real possibility I do something like this as well, because I believe I did already do this. Where's Borges? Borges, we go here and we change him to a left back or center back, and he goes up to 88 overall. He is in the team for sure. And so Borges is going to now be here, and we now no longer have a CM/CDM replacement, so it's going to have to go up to Mancina and King. We say goodbye to him for the round 11, or not the round 11, the starting 11, I should say. And let's see what our Champions League group is come the end of the month. Alright, here is our Champions League group, and we face off against Barcelona, as well as Lille and Slavia Praha. This should maybe get in at least second in the group. I would hope we could get past Lille and Slavia Praha. Obviously, I'm expecting Barcelona to finish first in there. Let's go ahead and see what happens at the end of the calendar year. Midway through the season, we sit in fourth in the league, maybe fourth. We do have West Ham do have a game in hand. They could go over this, so we technically could be staying in fifth. In all honesty, Arsenal are sitting in first, and in fact, they have a game in hand. They could extend their 3-point gap over City to a 6-point gap over City. That would be insane. We are once again in the Carabao Cup final, this time against Chelsea, and if we do get past Chelsea in some way, shape, or form, we will have should be easy final there. As far as the Champions League group goes, we finished second in the group as expected. We're actually only getting out of the group by 1 point over Lille, so that is actually big there for us. And we actually managed to beat Barcelona 2-1, as you can see on your right-hand side there, on October 4th. We faced off against AS Monaco in the round of 16. We faced off against them in the preliminary round of the Europa League last season. Now the round of 16 this season, a chance for them to get revenge on us in a bigger cup competition. Hopefully not, though. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Our players, nobody that I want to leave is going to leave, so that is great there. So let's get to that Champions League first leg against AS Monaco. Round of 16 here up against AS Monaco. Can the boys get the job done? No, they find themselves down 2-0 in the first leg of Champions League football. Second leg here from AS Monaco. We need a big performance from the boys, and that's exactly what we get. A 3-0 win. We shut them down completely. Muller in the 21st, Alarcon in the 53rd, and then Hassan in the 70th to give us a win. And we are into the quarterfinals of the Champions League. UCL quarterfinals up against Inter Milan, and they have Martinelli, Univar, Caballero, Bellingham, Lambert, Arome. They have Endrick, the Real Madrid. Is he Real Madrid? Yeah, the Real Madrid kid that is new for them. Obviously not in the game yet, but I have created him into the game, and it's a 3-3 draw in our first leg, and could have been a 4-3 loss as well. Alarcon scored a brace in the first half. Caballero got one back in the 34th. He equalized in the 53rd. O scored in the 81st, and then Caballero completing his hat trick to at least rescue that loss into a draw from them in the 87th. We move on to the second league. Pretty much 0-0. Obviously, away goals is not a factor in Champions League anymore. That's about the only good thing. Second leg here up against Inter Milan. It's a 1-0 win. The Sun region gets the job done, and we move on to the semifinals of the Champions League. All the other fixtures are done as well. Bayern Leverkusen beat Juventus 4-3 on aggregate. Same for us. We beat Inter 4-3 on aggregate. Leipzig beat AC Milan in 3-2 on aggregate, I should say. And then Bergamo Calcial beat Almeria 2-1 on aggregate. So which could have been a complete domination by Italian clubs, now only sees one out of the possible four Champions League semifinals, and it's up against Leverkusen. Our right back is out with suspension, so hopefully we have a fill-in for him, and it's looking like we kind of don't. As we go ahead and draw a level once again, 2-2, with O scoring in the last goal once again. He's been instrumental in this Champions League run, at least lightly in his last couple games. Second leg here against Bayern Leverkusen. It's a 2-2 draw from the first leg. Can we get the job done? No right winger, as he is out of suspension, and it does not matter as Alvarez and Alarcon connect to each other, and they win 3-2 on aggregate. 5-4, well, 3-2 on the day, 5-4 on aggregate. And the boys from Dublin are in a Champions League final. And here we go, the Champions League final against RB Leipzig at the All-Schalke Arena Stadium. Well, I guess arena, because it's arena off Schalke. We're at the Schalke Stadium. Nonetheless, it is a home ground technically for this Germany side there in Leipzig. This is our team. It's been the same team for this whole entire season. Alarcon, Muller, O, Alvarez, Kruger, Hassan, Fernandez, Adu, Borges, Fernandez, and then Richie in net. Let's see what the boys can do. Let's see if we can get a Champions League win. Or are we going to another season of trying to track down this trophy, that trophy right there? That is what we want to be lifting at the end of these 90 to 120 minutes. As O is now on the ball into Fernandez. Fernandez into Muller. Muller, first shot of the day. It's out for a goal kick. Fernandez on the ball. Fernandez going. Fernandez crossed in. Muller shot. Save. Second effort. Out for a corner instead. Corner gone short to O. Back towards Muller. Muller back post for absolutely no one. Alvarez heads it down for Hassan. Hassan! Couple one-touch finish, and it's 1-0 for Dublin. And we are in front in the Champions League final here. Off of a corner rebound. And the boys in blue are getting a job done. The worst team in the game are getting the job done. The college university team are getting the job done. Sanchez, shot blocked. Is a foul going to get called back? No. The boys go again. Kruger now on the ball. Kruger in towards Alarcon. Alarcon out wide for O. O now on the ball. Oh, fake cross. He'll cut inside. And oh, on his right foot over the bar. And oh, will find Alarcon. Alarcon will turn. And Alarcon to double the lead. It's 2-0 for Dublin. And the boys might be going to halftime up 2 with 45 minutes left to go to lift that Champions League trophy. Back-to-back Europa success. It's taken us a long time. It's taken me 2 days to record this. They might have one more opportunity to get this into the box for a saving type of goal here. And in fact, he hits it all the way back to one of his defenders, and we go at halftime. And if you are still watching at this point, go ahead and comment duck. If we get 20 duck comments by the end of the month, I will do a giveaway. But here we go. 45 minutes left to go until we are Champions League champions. Kruger just bodies his player there. Now Hassan on the ball, and Hassan has free state there, and Hassan, I cannot shoot it if I'm not shooting it directly into the back of net in the box. Leipzig have to go. Nuno Mendes crossed in, Openda, and there is Leipzig. They cut the lead in half. It's 2-1. As soon as I said they have to go, this is exactly what they do. They turn on the burners. This is a beautiful cross right there in towards Openda. No saving at all for Richie. But Hassan, he's going to shuffle past Nuno Mendes. He's going to shuffle past another defender. He's going to run into Bastoni, but still keep the ball. Now into Muller, and Muller can't get a shot off. Nuno against Fernandez is still going to stay with Nuno. Fernandez is chasing it. Frederick now into Ulrich. Ulrich into Sanchez. Sanchez in towards Downs. Richie got low and got the save off. And Leipzig is here now. They're ready to play. They're finally waking up. It's taking them 60 or so minutes. And it's Openda on the corner short. Fernandez will shut it down. He'll send it up to O. And does O have the pace? No, he does not. Openda, who's onside somehow, able to get the shot off. Richie keeps it going out. Well, he actually goes out for a corner. We couldn't keep it out from going out from a corner, I should say. And the corner comes in. And O to head it away. First time, no. Richie will collect it, though. And we will take a breath. Into Nuno. Into Downs. Downs has an easy shot. Saved by Richie. Collected by Richie. Alarcon gets it back. Poor clearance there. Back post now for saved. Muller saved again. Muller misses completely. How have we not scored there? Alarcon is coming on for Shaw. Gray is coming on for Audu. And Miranda De Silva is coming on for Fernandez. Last 5 minutes left to go. How have we not scored there? Openda into Audley. Audley into Sanchez. Saved by Richie. And that is it. Dublin are your Champions League winners. We survive a shaky second half. And after a brilliant first half, we are your Champions League winners. On the first time of asking. All the way from Ireland into League 2. Up the leagues into the Premier League. Narrowly getting relegated from the Premier League in our first season to winning the Europa League last season to now winning the Champions League this season. The boys have done it. The worst team in FC24 are your Champions League winners. And I actually don't know who's going to I don't know who my captain is. Is it Richie? Richie is my captain. The goalkeeper, the first big player that we signed to this team that stayed here, are actually not going to be Richie to lift it. It's going to be Andres, or whatever his name is, whatever this guy's name is, a CDM. We lift the Champions League trophy. The boys have done it. If you want to see more rebuilds every single Wednesday, we post at least maybe a rebuild or some other type of video. But for now, I'm out. Leave a like, subscribe, and peace out.